Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Untapped Podcast. My name is Jacob Gable.
And my name is Jacob Orts, guys. Welcome to episode 200. We have finally made it here, guys. It's a huge milestone. We appreciate you being with us. If this is your first time joining us, first of all, thank you. We are thrilled to have you here with us. We actually have 5 main formats of our show. So first, we have Forging Fortitude episodes where we cover the mental side of our brand. In these ones, we go over our anecdotal experiences with things like mindset and mentality. We then pass on tips and advice to you guys to then apply to your own lives. Next, we have Physical Vitality episodes where we cover the physical side of our brand. In these ones, we really get to showcase our knowledge and our skills because you have 2 certified personal trainers here. In addition to that, we cover everything that we offer through Untapped Training, which is powered by the First Form Performance Platform. No big deal. In these ones, we also go over things like everything to do with the gym, workouts, diet, supplements. We also will take trending articles or topics within the fitness industry, and we give our thoughts and opinions on those.
Beautiful start there, dude.
There we go.
On to our third format, guys. That is our breaking news format. It is a current event-based format. We cover current news, current articles going on around the world. Now, on to our fourth format. That is our Knights Table format. It is a masculinity-based format. We do our men's workouts in person. So, as you know, masculinity is a major staple for us. Now, keep in mind, we're not 2 perfect men. The only perfect man to ever walk this earth is Jesus Christ. On to our fifth format. That is our guest format. What we have for you today is episode 200. We sit down with entrepreneurs, fitness professionals, athletes, doctors, anybody who brings you value of some sort or adds to your guys' lives. We learn a lot from these episodes. You guys are also going to learn a ton from this episode here primarily. Let's get into it. We usually would introduce my brother, our producer, but we have him without a mic right now. That's because of our wonderful introduction we got here.
Well, and he's kind of ugly too. So we got to keep him off the mic.
The minute Mitchell doesn't have a mic, Wirtz goes right at him. Yeah, the minute Mitchell doesn't have a mic, Wirtz is like, perfect. I got my opportunity now.
Exactly. Kick him wise down, right? You know? So, for the last several weeks, we have been promising something massive for episode 200, something we have never done. Man, this arm is really, really going to piss me off. For the first time ever, we have a 2-guest episode. We have a 3-time now Untapped Podcast guest and a 2-time Untapped Podcast guest with Jeff LoVecchio and Matt Adams. Boys, what's going on?
So I'm better than him, 3.
I knew that was coming.
Hockey's already up 1-0.
Hockey and baseball. We know we're getting into this today.
Matt, I was just waiting for you to drop the I'm a World Series champion.
That will come. I should have worn it. Yeah, that would have been awesome.
It's the ultimate trump card. It's like,
that wins.
Sorry, do you have a giant ring like this? Sorry, my bad.
I got a ring that says love. ELE, dude. Everybody love everybody.
That's right. No, we appreciate you boys being a part of this big episode for us. You know, you guys are 2 great guys that we, are super appreciative to have in our lives. So couldn't think of better dudes to have with us for this.
Oh yeah, bro.
Yeah.
Thanks for having us.
Let's do this, gentlemen. So, starting right off the bat, again, you guys, if you guys do not know who these guys are, go back and listen to their previous episodes. Jeff's our season 2, episode 29. Episode 100, Matt's is episode 105. So go back if you want the introduction, all that stuff. Now into I did not memorize that before the episode, Mitchell. I saw you reacting to that, by the way. But starting right off here, let's go over Jeff, you being pro hockey player in your previous life, Matt, you pro baseball player, obviously. Let's go over both your guys' playing routines, but leaning toward the pregame side of things for young athletes. And what they can take away from those pregame routines, just how it can help the average person as well. So not even just a high-level athlete necessarily, but also applying that to the average person as well. So either one of you want to start there?
Go ahead,
I'll go. My routine started the minute I got in the car, driving into the stadium, throwing a podcast, throwing like my playlist music-wise, get my mind right going in. And then once I got to the field, it was a lot of video. Just I did my homework the night before, but really honing in on like the bullpen arms that I would face, that night I'd study them night in, night out. And then I would go into my routine in the cage. If it's a workout day, I get my workout in, then I go straight into the cage. I have about a 35, 40-minute routine in the cage that I would do. get my body warmed up for BP, know the swing's right where it needs to be. And then we went into BP, and then after, leading up to the game, I'm big into faith. So I'd throw my headphones on, kind of meditate for about 15, 20 minutes. I'd have a daily devotional book that I'd travel with. Home games, road games. It never left my locker. I'd read that daily devotional, say a little prayer, and then head out, 20, 25 minutes before the game, and my exercises get my mind right, my body right to go compete.
So kind of two questions off of that. Number one, what was the playlist like? Is this, is it country? Is it rap? Is it rock? That kind of thing. And then
curious too.
Yeah,
I'm kind of curious too as well.
And then after that, well, answer that, and then I'll ask the second one. Yeah.
Great question. I think it depended. I had about 4 or 5 different ones, depending on what mood I was in that day. Some heavy metal. Not a big heavy metal guy, but like a day where I felt like kind of, whether it was an extra inning game the night before, I felt like maybe I didn't sleep great. Dragging mind, body dragging a little bit. For the heavy metal playlist on, and it would wake me up in.
Yeah.
But I was more of a 90s hip hop guy.
Okay.
Playing for the Cardinals, I listened to a lot of Nelly,
Sure.
Murphy Lee, St. Lunatics, those guys. And then, growing up in central Pennsylvania, I was a big country guy. So I had my country playlist as well. So
yeah,
there was I'm a big music guy. I like all kinds of music. So I had about 4 or 5 different playlists that go on. Then I'd have a meditation, like kind of calming, soothing, no lyrics, just kind of, tunes and whatnot to meditate to and get my mind right.
Yeah. So, and Jeff, you'll be able to offer some insight into this question as well. But, out of all sports at the professional level, we hear players, athletes talk about getting their mind right. What does that really mean? When you say you would get your mind right in the car, pregame, before BP, before the game, whatever, what did that really mean? And I'm sure it's going to be different for everybody, but dive into that a little bit more.
Yeah. Another great question. I think for me, it was when we're operating at the highest level of our sports, there's a lot of pressure to perform. So getting my mind right was just trying to eliminate the external noise, trying to eliminate the pressure, and just really kind of be in tune with myself to where I could go out there and just listen. It's a game. Baseball's a kid's game. It's what you play from 9 years all the way up until they take the uniform off you. So for me, it was really just kind of eliminating all the external noise, the pressure, and just go try to have fun. For me, getting my mind right was knowing that I was prepared, doing my homework. Kind of that was step one, and then step two was just trusting that I was prepared. Now I can just go execute my job, what I needed to do on a nightly basis, what was asked for me, and whatnot. So that's
just trying to find a way to get into that flow state where you're ready, but you're not thinking about you're ready. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Especially, I can't imagine hockey. When I played in the American League, I think it was 82 games a year. Europe, 50, 60. You got preseason, you got playoffs, so a little bit more, right? But it's a lot of games. You're playing a billion games.
That's what it feels like.
Yeah,
it's a lot.
I tell my guys who are transitioning from college and first year pro, second year pro, college hockey, you're playing 30 or 40 games, and you're going to pro, you might be playing 70, 80, depending on the league. And I remember my first game of pro after I came out of college. I was doing my college warm up, and a guy came up to me who actually played for the Blues. We were with the Bruins at the time for their AHL team. Guy who played 100 games for the Blues, Jeff Hogan. He was the captain of our team in Providence. He was like, "Hey man, love seeing you warm up like that, but you're not gonna be able to do that for 80 games. So you're gonna need to short. I'm down there warming up for 40 minutes. I'm doing sprints. Just my first game pro, coming out of college.
Right.
I am so jacked up, ready to play. So I'm doing extra. I'm sweating everywhere, and he's like, "Yo, you gotta chill.
Pump the brakes,
You're
bro.
not gonna be able to do that every game. So you're gonna have to shorten that, and you're gonna need it, And so the goal is, how do you get into that flow state? Everybody's different, and similar for me. When I was younger, and you know, you got all the energy in the world, you recover super easily, like college juniors. Like I was listening to metal every game because I'm gonna have to go out there and like hit people and do stuff like that.
Yeah.
Later in my career in Europe, like I'm a top line guy. I'm playing most minutes as a forward. Like it was totally different. I was able to get myself to that flow state easier, and it was you know, I just knew how to get there more efficiently.
Yeah.
I mean, when I was younger, like one of my caffeine, Snickers bar, warm up, sprints, jumps, whatever. And then like as you're older, okay, I don't need all of that. What do I
Yeah.
need to get myself ready to play, ready to go, you know, stuff like that.
Sure.
So it's about efficiently getting to that place where you feel your best mentally, physically, emotionally. You're able to cut everything out. How do I get there as quick as I can with honestly the least amount of energy, especially like
Sure.
when you're getting paid to play night in and night out.
Yeah.
You don't want to waste energy.
Well, especially in hockey, it's such a
Yeah.
fast-paced, long game. Like
Yeah,
you don't have
yeah.
anything to give.
Yeah,
You know.
so it's like you got to be smart with how do I get to that flow state quicker?
Yeah.
You know? Yeah. No, 100%.
Yeah, basically what Mitch just asked is like you should be doing that work beforehand, you know, so that you're not
Well,
having to do it on the
I think
ice
that
and
goes
everything.
into like everybody, you know, and I'm sure it's the same in baseball, it's the same in life, same in business. Like confidence, you have to do things confidently, especially as an athlete. If you are unconfident, you're not hitting that freaking ball.
No.
You know, you're not playing well in hockey. So everybody's always like, well, how do I go into a game confident? For me, it was like, I was always confident because I knew I did the most I could to prepare.
Mhm.
I'm not saying, you know, like obviously I didn't even play in the NHL. I played preseason. I got called up, but like had 10-year pro career, but like no matter what level and where your abilities are, like it's your job to perform. And so like you have to get there, but to perform well consistently, you have to be confident. I think confidence comes from preparation.
Mhm.
If you know you prepared, you know you took your batting practice, you know you watched your video, you know what the pitchers are throwing. Same with hockey, like you're going into that game already confident. It's easier to get to that flow state. You trust yourself.
Yeah.
You're not second guessing, am I ready?
Mhm.
You know, so like for me, it's like everything comes down to I want to go into the game confident. How do I go into the game confident? Preparation. And then I break down preparation into like daily details. And this is what I do with my guys. And I look at sleep and recovery, nutrition, training, like working out,
Mhm.
video, and then practice details and habits, like leading up to
Yeah.
the actual competition.
Yeah.
Obviously for baseball in season, I don't even know if you guys practice. Like, can you with how many games you play?
Yeah, that's a great point. I think our batting practice is
That's your
That's
practice,
our
right.
practice. Like we, you know, the infielders will take, you know, we'll go out there 20 minutes before batting practice starts. We'll do our ground balls. We'll turn
Right.
double plays as a team.
Yeah.
Outfielders will throw the bases. So like
Yeah.
there are like and like off days, like because the season is so long, like off days we're not even going into the stadium.
Yeah.
Whether we're home or on the road, like off days are off
gotta
days. Like
recover.
we're recovering.
Right.
We're kind of getting our mind off, you know, the games. Yeah, but like it's like I know like with hockey, like you guys had morning skates like
Yeah.
the day of games,
Yeah.
and then like it's a different sport.
Just pro is
But it's-
different too. Like,
yeah,
it's different than you're being paid to play the game.
Yeah.
And you got to be ready to play the game, and that's on you. But like up to that in college, like you're trying to get to that level. So you're practicing. I mean, I don't know about baseball, hockey, we're only playing on the weekend. So we're practicing 3-4 days a week, you know, and like that's where you have to earn all the confidence to then use it
Yeah.
in the games.
You know, the talk on preparation is interesting. There was a few years back, the Cardinals had a Sunday night baseball game on ESPN, and they were interviewing Adam Wainwright during the game, and he was talking about preparation. They were asking questions about it. I don't remember specifically what the question was, but his answer is what really stood out. He goes, you know, most starting pitchers have like, you know, it might be a 30 to 60 minute routine before their start. Right? So it's long, it's drawn out. They're doing all kinds of drills, heavy balls, whatever it might be. He goes, that's great. But if they told me I had 8 pitches in the bullpen to get warmed up, I can make it happen. Might not be ideal, but it's up here. It's in your mind. He goes, if they told me I had 8 pitches to prep for the start, I can make it happen.
And more times than not, he wasn't far off from that. Like
I believe
like
it.
my first game, like playing with Wayno, I was out, like we were all out on the line, and like normally like the starter's out, like he walks out there alone, like maybe the pitching coach is walking with him to go out there and start stretching. Some guys like are out there like 45 minutes before the game, like that. We're like, where's Wayno? Or like, at least for me, like these other guys have like played with him, like, so they know like his routine. Like, I'm like, what the hell is Wayno?
Yeah, right.
And like 20 minutes before like first pitch, here comes Wayno walking out in his BP like top over his jersey. He's walking out. He's the most confident person in the world. I'm like, he's gonna throw a pitch before he gets on a big league mound. So like, I remember that like that Sunday night game, like hearing him talking. He was mic'd up as he's warming up for the game. Like, so like at that level, like most people would not be okay with being mic'd up, like as a starting pitcher, being mic'd up as they're preparing to go out there and you know, throw like start a game.
Yeah.
But like that's just who Wayno was. Like he like confident. He's confident in he was prepared. He already did all the work. Now he's just going out there and get his body ready to go.
Yeah.
Some people at those levels, dude, they're just so talented. It's like I wasn't one of those guys, obviously, you know. Like,
it's like Ovechkin, Bex.
So like,
you know?
it's just you're just in awe of like what they can do. It doesn't mean they're not hard workers or anything like that, but like they just have it. And it's like no matter what. Like I'm not saying that he's like not working, but like the talent at those highest levels, it's just it's fun to watch.
Yeah. So staying on the careers here for you guys, kind of an umbrella question, but is there anything either one of you would have done differently? Whether that's in the pregame stuff that we're talking about now or just in general with your careers, what would you have done differently if you could?
I mean, well, how far back are we going?
Whatever you want. Whatever you want.
If I could tell my dad what would have helped me most, I would have played every sport until I was probably like 13, 14 years old. No
100%.
doubt about it.
Yeah.
I would tell my dad to put me in obviously team sports like hockey and all that stuff, but also some individual sports where I would have to lose and pick myself up right away, like wrestling or jujitsu, where it's a one-on-one sport. If you lose, you have to look in the mirror and come back the next day and practice and like learn that.
Yeah.
And I think that doing that and also like a physical sport where like you have to physically be dominated by somebody else. I think that like losing like a fight like that as a kid teaches you so much about yourself. And then you can translate that into, you know, being a better teammate, being better, just like showing up to practice more. Cause you know, like, I don't want that to happen again, you know? And so I think that could translate into team sports really well, you know?
I hope all you parents listening heard that. Multiple sports. Not it's a good thing.
Sports.
Yeah.
And we will heavily get into that.
Yeah, we will. We will get into that.
That's a big point. I think for me, kind of a two-parter. I made a career being a bench guy. Like I wasn't a starter. I wasn't an everyday guy. So I think one, like it took me having a massive hip injury in 2015, tearing my tendon off my hip bone to really like dive into like the nutrition side and like take care of like get serious about taking like care of my body.
Yeah.
That off season, you know, coming off, that was in 16 off season. I chose to stay here and like make St. Louis home. And I lost 37 pounds and almost 13% body fat in 3.5 months leading up to the 2017 season. So I think the biggest thing for me was like just taking my body like seriously from like an earlier age.
Yeah.
And like the other one was like get comfortable with being uncomfortable. Like early on, like my younger self, like I shied away from stuff that like made me uncomfortable. Like looking back, like I wish I would have just did it. And like whether I looked like a fool or, you know, I failed at it, like Jeff said, like do things that like you have to learn to come back from.
Yeah.
Like I wish that I would have put myself, or my parents would have put myself in like uncomfortable situations where I had to figure stuff out.
Yeah.
And I think a big one off that would help with that is like having quality mentors that like, not saying they had to play in the MLB, but like if you can find some type of mentor that played Division I sports or a high level and they weren't the best player, like that's the thing. Like it's, you can learn from McDavid, you can learn from whoever the best baseball players, but like you're not that guy. And almost nobody's that guy.
Right.
So it's like, I think that you can learn a ton of lessons from guys that got to higher levels of sports, even if they didn't play at the highest level, but they had to make it all the way up there through nutrition, mindset, learning to use video, training, you know, psychology, all these things. Like if you had to learn all that to get there, and it wasn't like you got there because you were just you just had it naturally kind of thing. I think having mentors like that can help you through when you are put in those situations where you're younger, where you're going to fail.
Yeah.
And then, okay, failure's not a big deal.
Right.
You just learn from it. You got better instantly.
Right.
Now let's take that lesson. Let's move forward. And just the mentors can help you through that process. Because when you're young and you're coming up and you're trying to get that scholarship or get that contract or get that next contract, like you're just so hyper focused, and every loss can feel like the world is closing in on you, but it's not.
Right.
It's an opportunity to get better. Like him tearing his hip made him better. Me having my terrible concussion made me better, made me learn about the brain and all these other things that made me a better player later on in my pro career.
Yeah.
You know,
it's kind of like the Tom Brady thing where he talks about like he had to learn the playbook because he didn't have the skills on the field, but he had to learn the playbook. And that's what was going to set him apart was he had every single thing in that book memorized.
Yeah.
And that separated him from, who did he replace? Is it Trent Green?
Oh, no.
No.
Drew Bledsoe.
Drew Bledsoe. Thank you.
Bledsoe.
Trent Green
Yeah,
was
yeah.
here in St. Louis, wasn't he?
Yeah, he was.
Yeah. But
funny enough, on the note of failure, and you brought up martial arts too, Vex. Mitch and I, when I was about 24, he was 22, we did martial arts or jiu-jitsu for about a year and a half. There were dudes, I was at 230 at that point in time, weight-wise. There were dudes that were 50 pounds plus lighter than me kicking my ass.
Yeah.
That is such a good ego check too, as an athlete as well.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, this dude just murdered me, and I weigh like double his weight essentially at this point in time. Like this is a little bit scary, one. But yeah, Mitchell just said you feel useless. It's absolutely true, but also that's a good check because then you can find weaknesses in yourself.
100%.
So 100% when you're 12, 13 years old and then you're still playing hockey but also doing that at the same time, how many benefits are you going to get out of that?
Well, like you can't just be put in situations where you're always winning. Like you have to. You want to be. You don't want to be like, playing 6 levels up and you're the worst player, right? But like you do want to be in situations that challenge you as a kid, and mom and dad can't step in and try and make it better for you.
Yeah.
They can usher you through the hard time, but you don't want to solve the kid's problem because then they're not learning that for when you're not with them.
Yeah.
And so like, again, I think that's why the other thing I would add to what we both said is like finding a quality mentor, whatever that means, it can help so much.
Yeah. Yeah. No, absolutely. I think let's keep the youth topic going here.
100%. So staying on the youth side of things, youth and pro sports currently, likes and dislikes. For those of you that listen to the podcast pretty consistently, we're big on the multi-sport thing as we've already brought up as well. So I want to continue to hit on that for sure. But your guys' thoughts about schedules, about how teams are set up now. Youth hockey, Vex, you and I know how crazy it is and whatnot. Of course, youth baseball seems nuts, as you've told me. So let's just hear both your guys' takes on that and go from there.
Oh, people are fucking nuts.
Oh yeah.
Just say it.
Next question.
All right, next point.
Yeah, I mean, like from the baseball standpoint, in like Missouri, like you see it in Missouri, like in Missouri's not even the biggest baseball state over. Like, think about what Florida's like, California's like, Texas. Like, it's a year-round sport, and these kids are 8, 9 years old playing baseball. They're playing more games than a professional schedule.
Yeah,
and the parents are like, I came across a video, a 6U game. A parent lost it on a coach. I'm like, these kids can't even like think for themselves. It's a game,
right?
Like that's a game. Like let the kids have fun. Like it's gotten so competitive at such an early age. Where like Jeff touched on it earlier. Like you want kids to play as many sports as they possibly can for as long as they can.
Yeah,
like through high school. It makes them a better person.
Yeah,
at the end
absolutely.
of it.
And it makes you a better athlete.
Exactly.
It makes you a better athlete. Like I look at it as when you get to the higher levels of sports, like you have to have a toolbox. And the more tools you have in the toolbox, the more problems you can solve. I don't care what sport we're talking about. Also, different sports do not have the same type of coaching, the same coaches, the same emphasis on what they're putting on in practice, but also like the same, maybe not much. Morals, ethics, standards. So like having kids in different locker rooms, they're getting different things, and also like different socioeconomic backgrounds. Like basketball and hockey are completely different, you know, and that. So like being in a locker room with other people, just going to help you be a better person. If you're a better person, you're going to be a better athlete too.
Yeah. Well, and the team dynamics of each sport, that goes
totally
in that
different.
as well.
Yeah.
We've talked in the past, it's like, maybe you're one of the better ball players on your baseball team. maybe you're the captain. Okay. But when it's football season, you're a
not even
follower.
worst. Yeah,
you know,
yeah, dude.
you know,
Yes.
whether you're the worst or you're somewhere in the middle, it doesn't matter, but you're
Yeah.
not the captain.
Right.
You don't have that C.
Right.
So you have to learn how to follow. And then you can take lessons from that situation to your captain spot on your baseball team.
Dude,
You know
yes.
how to lead better.
Yes.
You know how to set that example better. You know how
100%.
to help run a practice or a drill or whatever.
I think
you know?
a big problem is just obviously over professionalization.
Yeah.
There's players who get out of the game and it's all they know and they want to help, but then like they start making money and then they run year-round camps and stuff and they know it's not. It's the ones who do it, you know. And there's guys who do it the right way and you know they're thinking about volume and all that, but there's just so many people who just like are just preying off families and it's just keep them on the hamster wheel and it's like, dude, like, go play another sport. It's gonna make you better here, you know, like everything we talked about, but there's so much money in youth sports and parents just say, oh, this is going to help my kid become a pro. And it's, dude, the odds of your child becoming a pro, it's not saying it can't happen.
Right.
Played pro, but like you shouldn't be getting in youth sports because you think your kid is going to be a pro. It should be for all the life lessons.
Yeah.
Right.
You know?
Right.
And to let the kid have fun. Like go like that. Like for me, that's the biggest thing. Let the kids be kids.
Mhm.
Like,
Yeah, dude.
They're not at 9-10 years old. They're not professional athletes.
Yeah.
Right.
Let them be kids. Let them have a life.
Yeah. Well, and you know, at 9 and 10, they're definitely not. But dude, as we're getting into high school now, like those kids are slowly becoming professional athletes with the different NIL type stuff.
I was just gonna say the NIL stuff in college. It's driven. Those guys are professional athletes, and
100%.
they're
Yeah,
signing
they are.
1 year free agent deals. Basically, there's
Exactly.
no loyalty to the school programs. They're like, and it's trickling down into the high school sports. Like
Absolutely.
you talked about, Wirtzy, is like because those kids see all that. Like all they see is the money sign.
Mm-hmm.
Like from 18 on,
Yeah.
they just see the dollar signs,
Yeah.
and they want to make as much money. Where before, like you chose a school and you wanted to go win a championship
Right.
for that school.
Right.
Now it's all about how much money can I put in my bank account when I'm like by 20 years old.
Yeah. No, literally.
They ruined college sports.
It's crazy.
Well, they went from 0 to 100. With
Yeah,
it,
that's-
correct?
Exactly.
Yeah,
That's
I
the
like
key.
it.
yeah.
I like it.
I like that they can get some money.
Yeah, because you're promoting the school, you're promoting the brand, like you're basically working for the school.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you should be compensated in some way. But like I just saw something. The University of Miami football quarterback is making $10 million.
yeah,
Like
yeah.
I'm like, are you kidding me?
Go!
Yeah.
Are you kidding me?
It's insane.
I mean, yeah, we saw even hockey. Gavin
He's
McKenna.
not even going to class.
no.
Wasn't he
whole building.
Wasn't he graduated? I think he might have been
Carson
graduated.
Beck,
Yeah.
he wasn't even in class when they were playing in the national championship.
Yeah.
Like it's like, what are we
He
doing here?
graduated the year before,
Yeah.
but then the newcomer guy that I think they got from like the transfer portal was a whole nother
That's
thing. Like that, like
insane.
it, like long story short, they ruined college sports with
And
the NIL stuff. And,
They can't go back now. You know,
no, but
like,
they have to figure out a system to where it's moderated.
Absolutely.
Like
I think transfer portal should only be if you played X amount of percentage, like in hockey, you only played 10% or less games. You can get one transfer your whole college career.
yeah.
Something like that in hockey would like make sense. I don't know about baseball.
Yeah.
I mean,
You know?
I think I want to say a college baseball season is like 60 games, and then like play if your team's good enough, you go on to like regionals and whatnot. But like I would say like maybe like a fifth of that season if you don't have like, or you do by at bats or whatever.
Sure.
Like for a pitcher,
Some
like
kind of
it's in-
metric.
Yeah. Like
Yeah.
Where you can't
but-
just change every
but
year.
every
for
year,
more
like
money.
they're looking to one up,
Yeah.
what they did the year before and stack more money in their pocket.
Right.
Like college athletes should not be worried about that.
Correct.
Mhm.
And
There's
from
a lot of life lessons to be had at the college level.
absolutely. Absolutely. And from the coaching side of it too, you can't build relationships with these kids, because it used to be, let's say, a kid's family, he grew up watching Alabama football. They live and breathe Alabama football every Saturday. It's built into their schedule, right? So he wants to go to Alabama to play football. He wants to win a championship, just like you said, Matt. Like that, it's a part of who that person is. Now it's switching and switching and switching. But from the coaching perspective, you used to have these kids for 4 or 5 years. If you redshirt or whatever, and so you can build a relationship. You can see this kid from 18 to 22 to graduate to pro potentially. And so there's real coaching that can happen in that situation when they're switching every year. it's a new batch of kids every year.
And when the kid's making more than the coach.
Right. What are you going to tell me?
Yeah.
Right.
You know?
Well, that's the thing. Like, there's no, like, the respect level is out the window now because they're making millions of dollars.
Or, hey, I'm going to leave if you treat me like,
exactly.
You know,
Yeah.
I don't like it.
What?
How do you run a team?
I always think about, like, you know, to piggyback off Alabama football, like what Saban always said was like he had these kids 4 or 5 years and he was able to develop young men, grown men by the time they graduate or go, you know, are fortunate enough to go on playing the NFL.
Mm-hmm.
Like there's
no.
And it's a shame.
It is.
It's a shame.
Funny enough, on the bias side of that too, even as strength coaches in college and whatnot, there's been strength coaches that have come out and talked about this to where if you only have a year with a kid and then he transfers, he's going to go transfer to a completely different style of training at that school too. Yeah. So they're also going to have, you know, let's say it's Penn State, you know, Gavin McKenna got $700,000 for 1 year at Penn State for hockey there, which is crazy for college hockey money. But even as a strength coach in that scenario, you can't build the camaraderie over 4 years with these kids and then have the same training style that then applies to them on the ice, on the field, whatever it is. So it doesn't even just sit for the head coach. It sits for the whole coaching staff in that scenario that they're running into that.
It's tough.
It's just a trickle-down effect. Mm-hmm. Like everybody's affected.
Yeah.
And then next thing you know, you're firing strength coaches and assistant coaches every year too, because it's like, oh, we didn't keep these kids in transfer portal. You're gone now too.
Yeah.
It's like, wait, what? This kid just wanted to transfer.
Right.
Like
1,000%.
Transactional.
Yeah, Mitch said transactional there.
Yeah.
100%.
1,000%.
Well, 100%. Yes. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. And we weren't getting paid at 13. That's for sure.
I think like to piggyback off that, I think like, you know, Jeff's point of like finding a mentor, a lot of these kids at that age, those are like your coaches are your mentors. Like,
sure.
So like when you're in college and you don't like the environment or, you know, you get asked for more money, like that's not going to be your mentor anymore. Like there's no relationship building whatsoever at that level now.
And then they go to pro, the ones who are lucky enough to get to pro, and they're shitheads. Yeah. And then in pro, they don't make it because everybody had to bow down to them because of all of these. They could leave. Yeah. So now they go to pro and they don't even know how to like be a pro. And then that's not good for them either.
Sure. Have you heard anything from your guys in college? You know, just talking about this.
Yeah, like it's a joke. You know.
Yeah.
There was so much pride. Like I went to Western Michigan when they weren't good, and you know they won the national championship last year. And
that was awesome.
So much pride because I know I helped the school move forward when I was there, and it's like hell yeah. And now it's like, well, everybody can leave anytime. Western Michigan does a great job at retention because they focus on development. And when they talk to players, they're like, we don't want guys who are just coming here to leave. Like you're coming here, like we want you here. And obviously some will, but they're trying to go the other way. And I think they were going to see some schools go the other way and people are all going to want to go there because it will actually offer development. Yeah. You know, like it goes back and forth. Sure. So I'm hoping the pendulum kind of swings to some schools being like, we're not doing this anymore. Yeah. We're going to go back to the old ways and then people are going to want to go.
Well, yeah. Cause I think as word starts to get around, like, hey, the guys that are just switching every year, they're not making it at the pro level, as you just said. And it's like, well, I kind of want to make it at the pro level. You know, I want to win a Stanley Cup. I want to win a World Series. I want to win a Super Bowl or whatever. So I need to go to a place that is going to develop me all around as a player, as a man, as whatever. Yeah. And if I focus on this money side of it, like I'm not going to get that, you know? And so I hope you're right that the pendulum will swing back. Yeah. Yeah. Right.
Staying on the youth sports topic too, Matt, you said that 6U dad, for example, you saw freaking out.
Yeah.
Going back to now these younger ages, why the parents in that scenario, I'm assuming that dad never played high school sports even at that level, right?
Yeah.
Why is it always the parents who were terrible at their sport, the ones freaking out the most that way? At least that's how it seems in general. Like you don't see former D1 athletes as parents freaking out when their kid makes a bad play on the ice, on the field, whatever it is. So why is it that?
Well, my initial answer would have to be ego. Because they make it all about themselves. Well, I didn't make it. But I want to be able to say that my kid
did.
So I think it comes back to like ego, like big time ego. But the 6U dad, I don't know where it was, what state it was, but he had like shirt tucked in and a gun in his front pant, like waistband. I'm like, at a 6U ball game, and now you're gonna fight with other parents and the umpire. Like, there's so many videos now in baseball, and like I don't know what
it's bad in hockey.
But
it's
like,
bad.
but like parents are getting kicked out of games at 6U, 7, 8. I'm like, why? Like, but I tie it all into like it's ego. They make it all about themselves. Well, and two, they're spending a lot of money,
especially nowadays.
So like,
so
everything is elevated. Like if they see like it not, if they see like kind of like their money not going to good use, I think that kind of triggers kind of the bad behavior in a lot of these parents.
Sure.
So,
And there's impatience too there. You know, when they don't see their money, working, it's like, well, you got to give it some time here.
Exactly.
Like your kid's not going to get stronger in a month.
Right.
Like it's just not
also
going
your
to
kid's
happen.
7. It's like,
Exactly.
what type of progression? Like, chill on that. Yeah.
This dude was in diapers.
Let's maybe find a new league for him to like where he can like go have fun and like where it's not so competitive at 7 years old. Like there's more to life than
I think
baseball.
coaching and organizational ego is driving the we have to win at all costs culture in youth sports. And a big part of that is parents are pushing because of the money. But like development equals wins later.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like if you focus on development, they're going to win more later.
Yeah.
So it should be focused on that. And the hard part is getting people to understand and like athletes understand. Like if you lose a game when you're younger, like you're trying to teach them young athletes winning is important. You want to win. But like if they don't win, the sky isn't falling, and you as an adult have to know that. And go, okay, well, what can I teach from this loss? And like, but it seems like because now it's just all about winning because of adult and parent and coach and organization ego. It's all about winning.
Yeah,
dude, it's got to be about development.
Yeah,
and fun and being a child.
Right.
Obviously, memories,
especially at that age.
Yeah.
Yes.
Like, especially in youth sports.
Yeah.
Like you, I think you hit the nail on the head, Jeff. It is all about development.
Yeah.
Like you're not like your kid's not. If you win the 8U championship, your kid next year is not going to get drafted.
Or your kid's on like the 8U scouting report top 20. It's like get out of here,
doesn't
dude.
matter. Like
Right.
there's a ton of lessons in failure and like in losing and that help more so in sports, but like also like just in general life.
Yeah.
Dude,
Oh yeah. And kind of what you were just saying is basically these people are trying to live vicariously through their kids.
Yeah.
And that's it.
Yeah. It's wild.
Not just a couple years ago, I was coaching in this world that we're talking about right now. I don't have kids, so I was coaching other people's kids, and we were, I had them from 10, 11, 12, 13, starting 14. And had all other ages as well, but my team specifically was those ages. And it's like dealing with the parents is way more difficult and way more stressful.
That's why I stay in the gym now.
Dude, and it's like...
we understand why.
Not in charge of playing time. I'm not in charge of scouting. I just in the gym.
You're not spending all day at the ballpark or at the rink or whatever. I mean, it's a lot.
Dude, that's a real thing. And like everybody, once I retired in 24, everybody, you ever coach high school? Like, would you get into... No, absolutely not.
And you saw it. You were at our facility all the time. Like you saw it.
The main thing is like I would not have the patience to deal with it.
No.
Listen, I did it at the highest level. Like I'm not gonna like it, in a 10U game. I'm not gonna deal with you coming in and telling me what your kid needs.
Yeah, right.
My kid needs to be playing this amount of time. Like no, go kick rocks.
Yeah, right.
It's John in project management too. Telling Matt what to do with his kid.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. It's insane. And the money that they're spending absolutely comes into play because they feel because they're paying for pitching, hitting, and whatever lessons that their kid should be batting third and starting every game behind the plate. And it's just like
we're losing sight of like what youth sports are.
Yeah.
Yes.
Like youth sports. Yeah. Well, it's just youth sports. Like they teach you so much about life.
Yeah.
But you have to like pay attention to those. And you got cut. Well, let's talk about it. And show up the right way. Did you prepare? Like, what are the lessons that you can teach about that? Oh, when you go to a job interview, you have to perform. There's other people that they might pick.
Yeah.
It's like you translate everything over, and all of your money that you spent on the sports is worth it because of the lessons they learned, because of the memories, the friendship, the fun, the exercise, all these different reasons. But so many parents are thinking, well, I want little Johnny to go pro. Dude, That's maybe and hopefully, but like that should be the last thing in your mind when you put a child in youth sports.
Yeah, right.
You know,
And
like
They're not going
thing.
pro in youth sports.
No,
it's
they're just not.
It's just the reality.
You know, like on the baseball side of things, I'm sure hockey has something similar, but you know, there's organizations like Perfect Game, for example, is this huge organization where they host tournaments and they own some different facilities around the country, and they're great. It's, you know, the facilities, they redo them, they're beautiful, and they're not the only ones that do this, but there are these organizations that, you know, you can go online, you can see all the rankings for 8U, 9U, 10, all the way up to 18U, and it's going into all of this. It's like, why are we doing a draft combine for 9U baseball players? And that happens. Like that, this is a real thing.
1,000% happens. And at 9, 10 years old, the kids are worried about their exit velocity.
100%.
How hard we're throwing like our fastball. Well, at 9, 10 years old, you're throwing 35, 40 miles an hour.
Exactly.
Like, you said exit velocity, and I was like, wait, what?
Like,
8?
but these organizations, as you go up, because they have the youth like component, but also like it gets way more competitive, like in high school, and that's why like when like nowadays, like when these guys get into the professional organizations, they're caring about the wrong thing.
Yes.
Like it doesn't, if you can't make contact with a baseball, it does not matter how hard your batting practice, the ball comes off your bat in batting practice.
Right.
Because you're swinging at 3 balls and you're walking your ass back to the dugout.
Exactly.
I think at 8 years old, my slap shot was like 22 miles an hour. Give or take.
You made it, dude.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
I was on the rankings, actually. Yeah.
MVP of that tournament. You know? It really is wild. And athletes of all sports, they are worried about developing the tools rather than developing the athlete. And that's on the organizations. It's on the clubs. It's on the parents. The kids don't know better. You know, they see the numbers, and none of us will sit here and say the numbers aren't fun to look at. You know, whether it's baseball, hockey, golf, it doesn't matter. Like, it's fun to see the numbers. And it's very easy to get caught up in that as well. But like you alluded to earlier, Jeff, like these places are preying on the families and on the parents that don't know better. You know, it's never the D1 parents that, like you said, Gable, where they know that stuff doesn't matter at 8U, at 10U, at even 14U. Like at 14 as a freshman in high school, you don't need to be doing college showcases yet. When you're a junior, senior, and you're an actual ball player, you're an actual hockey player, like, okay, by all means, play in the travel tournaments, do the showcases, get your name out there. I can appreciate that, okay? Start having the conversations with the coaches. It also teaches you how to have conversations better as a 17, 18-year-old kid. That's hard to do. You know, when you're going up to talk to Tony Vitello at Tennessee, who's now coaching in the big leagues, but that's a nerve-wracking conversation to have. But the more and more you do it, the better you get at it. So then when the one that hits, you're confident, you're feeling yourself, you know you can stand behind the words you're saying, and then guess what? You get that scholarship. You get the opportunity to go to that level and play.
100%.
Yeah.
100%.
It's wild. It really is. It's a crazy world.
But I want, like, there are, like, and you alluded to this too, like, there are good organizations out there. Like, I know that we're sitting here, like, I would say, like, there's not many of them.
Sure.
I would say there's 25% of, like, organizations that do things the right way, that grow the kids, let them have fun and go about it the right way. But, like, that number needs to be growing
much higher
every year. Yeah.
That's disappointing to hear from you, genuinely. Like 25%.
I don't know if that's
again,
the case. I'm just throwing,
obviously,
I'm
ballpark
just
for
throwing.
sure. But even like hearing a lower number like that in general, it's like, oh gosh, we got really big work to do.
Most people think they're doing what's right.
Right.
You know, but like, I don't know. I'm not saying that you had to play pro sports or Division I sports to know what actually translates to those levels and matters. But like, you know, we've been talking about developing kids here, and neither one of us have talked about any statistics.
Right.
You know, like we haven't said what this stat will get you to the MLB. No, dude, are you a good person? Can you learn from failure? Can you have a bad day and come back and be good the next day? You know, like, are you consistent? Do you worry about development?
Are you a great teammate?
Are you a good teammate? A bench guy?
Like
all these different things that actually help you get to the highest levels. And, you know, everybody wants to track stupid things that actually don't matter at those levels.
Right.
I'm sure it's all sports because I know it's hockey.
Yeah.
You know,
no, absolutely.
Yeah.
And it's also, you know, are you complaining about your role on the team, or are you expressing gratitude for your role on the team? Matt, you said you made a career out of being a bench player.
Yeah.
You're not sitting here complaining about being a bench player. You were in the big leagues.
Yeah.
And you took advantage of your opportunities, and you have some huge memorable moments that happen in your career, and like you get to carry that forever, you know.
Yeah.
And it's
and like if my mind wasn't in the right place, if I was worried about like complaining, like, oh, I didn't get to start that day,
right.
why not? Like, one, I wouldn't have stuck around in the big leagues as long as I did, and like an everyday player usually gets around 650, 700 bats a season. Like my average was probably like 305, 310.
Yeah.
But I made sure that I was prepared and I made the most of every single bat because I knew everyone counted.
Right.
But like it all comes down to your mentality and like the way that, you know, you look, like what lens you look, like be grateful. Like I was grateful to be, because I pride myself on being a good person, being a good teammate on and off the field. Like that clubhouse was our sanctuary. And like, I did not want to be walking around sulking that like I wasn't the starter. Like, I got to play with some of the best in the world. And I was grateful to just be able to put a jersey on and go out there and do my part.
Yeah. Yeah. Right. And that part on the team is just as meaningful as the guy that plays every day, you know? And that's what people have to understand at all levels. It's like, just because you're not starting at 11U doesn't mean you don't matter.
I mean, I listened to an interview you did maybe a month ago or something talking about like the draft and how you thought you were going to go higher. And you did it, and it was up to you to not sulk and be like, okay, let's go. And it's like, that's what it's about. You learn that when you're younger. If you don't learn that when you're younger and then you get, you know, your dick slammed in the door and when you're already a pro, it's hard to learn that lesson that late. You want to hit adversity when you're young.
Yeah.
You know, like I tell all the parents of kids that I work with, I'm like, oh, he's having a hard time. I'm like, good. And this is why. Because in 2 years, when he moves away from home, he's going to hit this like 10 times in his first year.
Yeah.
So if he learns it now, how to get over this, and we don't think the sky is falling, and we help him have the tools to then approach this the right way next time, he's going to get over it quicker, and get better faster and faster and faster. Again, that's
how many of the all-time greats across all sports were not first-round picks?
Yeah.
Albert Pujols was a round 20 whatever pick. Dude hit over 700 homers in the big leagues. You know, Brock Purdy, he was Mr. Irrelevant, last pick in the draft. He's leading the 49ers now. You know what I mean? Like, it's those types of guys. Pujols is maybe a bad example because, like, he had it, obviously.
Right.
But, like, the point remains, you know, like, he wasn't that first-round pick. So I'm sure he got to work. As soon as the name was called, he went to work. And he's like, I gotta figure out a way to get up there, you know?
Which, again, if you got cut from a team when you're 13 years old and you're not able to handle that adversity, then when you get drafted 20th round, you're going to be like, I'm just going to give up on baseball or hockey. I'm done. You know? But if you face that when you're 12 years old, 13 years old, and you're able to talk to the coach, like, why didn't I make this team? You've talked about this before, actually, Vex, too, in many of your videos. But, you know, go up to your coach, like, why didn't I make this team? I know plenty of guys that I know played AA hockey, which is, you know, higher level, but still not, you know, travel level necessarily. And then by the time they were 16, they were 20 times better than the AAA players I knew, you know, but it's just because they were okay with being told no at that point in time. It's the same idea. Yeah. So
there's a famous story about some basketball player that didn't make his high school team too.
Some random guy.
Yeah, some random guy. You know, he's got.
Did he wear number 23?
I think so. Yeah, maybe.
Okay, yeah.
45 later in his career. I think. Something like that. Michael Jordan, if you don't know who we're talking about. If you don't know,
I hope so. Yeah.
Get out from under the rock. All right. The debate we've been waiting on.
Oh, yeah. I know where this is going. I know where this is going.
Hockey versus baseball.
Let's go.
Okay, so for any of you that are not aware, probably from now, this was what, 2 months ago when it all started? Maybe a little bit longer.
I think it was the end. I think it was the end of January.
For Vex, it was 3 days ago.
Yeah, exactly.
He still has the pants on.
I should have worn them today.
Dude.
You 100% should have.
That would have been so funny.
Should have brought the bat and kept it over your shoulder the whole time. Yeah.
Missed opportunity.
So, and Jeff, you can kind of tell the story better here, but basically this big debate started on Instagram, hockey versus baseball, which is the harder sport. So first,
that wasn't even the original. It got so muddled with just a bunch of guys talking shit and having fun.
Wasn't it like the best athletes out of the two sports?
Dude,
was that the original?
No. Sal, I don't know why. Sal Frizella, CEO of First Farm, I don't even know how it happened. He said something about fucking, he put a video up about hitting a baseball is the hardest thing to do in sports. I was like, the hardest thing to do? I was like, I don't know. I think scoring a goal in the NHL would be harder. Those two are not comparable. One is like
100%.
Is like one job, like you're trying to hit the ball. One is like, well, that's like part of a team and you got to go through everybody and it's not, you don't do it alone.
You're on
baseball,
ice.
you do it alone. They're completely different. But we just started talking shit. And then Jacob Turner got involved. And then this big meat got involved. and everybody's talking shit. And it, it just turned into hilariousness and fun for a couple weeks there.
Yeah. And I mean, you took it to heart. Like you got to work. You were hitting off the tee. You're watching batting.
Dude, this guy was door dashing baseball gear from Dick's Sporting Goods.
11:30 p.m.
11:30
p.m.
But that's what's so cool about like just the athlete community in and around like St. Louis. Like there's a ton here. Like it was fun, but then like we I think we raised some money for it. It turned into a good cause and just got guys out, got involved, and like it was funny because I showed up, like I went to the ice like for the hockey part, and like I put skates on, like got a stick. I took one step on the ice and I turned. I made a big U-turn, and I was like, "There's absolutely no way." So I stood right in the bench there area and watched Jacob and this guy.
And Jacob played like double-A hockey. Like
Jacob was a good. Like he was a good. Yeah,
that's what I said to Wirtz. I was like, he definitely played somewhat.
Yeah,
I could tell.
Double-A hockey. So I want to say like ninth grade or something.
Okay, yeah.
So like he could actually like. But again, like it just shows, like I can't fucking play baseball. He can't play hockey. You know? You know what I mean? Like, but it was fun. We had a good time with it. You know.
Well, and the fact that you guys were able to get an actual pitcher out to face you too, like
I'll say
legit,
this,
man.
right? I say this and everybody chirps me. I'll fucking say it anyways. First of all, I don't know anything about baseball. I stopped playing baseball when I was 10. Wish I didn't. Especially because I had so much fun getting better at batting and like. I never went to baseball practice because I had hockey and I played like for fun baseball. Like I wasn't playing travel baseball, So I never got to practice baseball. I would just show up and play the games. And just like the 2 weeks of going to the batting cage 3 or 4 times, like I was filming my swing and watching it. And I was like, damn, dude, like getting better at hitting is actually really fun. And if you care and you watch your video and then I was just watching YouTube videos, like how to swing and like watching all different guys. I'm messaging you guys, hey, what hitting coaches should I follow? And I'm watching those Trevor Bauer videos and watching what he's doing. And it was like so fun. And I was like, dude, I now like my life goal now is to have a batting cage in my backyard. Yeah. Like honestly, like I fucking love
That's awesome.
Love it. Yeah, dude.
That's so
and
sick.
now I have way more respect for baseball. It's not that I didn't respect it. I was just ignorant. You know what I mean?
Yeah, sure.
But it was super fun. But back to the argument, dude, I don't even know what the argument was, but I will say this. I thought, okay, they're telling me like you can't hit a ball. I thought that meant like you can't like hit a ball, not like you can't get on base. But I don't know baseball term. I'm like, yeah, I can fucking hit a ball. Like, come on, guys. They're like, yeah, but you'd never get on base. I'm like, well, you didn't say that. You said you can't.
Like, wait a second.
You can't hit it.
Yeah.
So like me not knowing baseball, I think I'm showing up and I'm gonna get like 50 pitches, and he's gonna throw 50, and I'm gonna try and hit one.
Yeah.
And they flew in a guy who's a current pro, was in the MLB 2 years ago for a bit, playing down in Mexico. And they're like, I get in there and they're like, okay, he's got 30 pitches. I'm like thinking, okay, they're all going to go to me. I'm just going to stand in there for 30. There was 3 other pro guys in there.
Who are trying to get actual work in.
Pro baseball players. And he's like, it was the last day he flew in and he flew out the next day for his season to start in Mexico. So they're like, he's got 30. He can only throw 30. And I was like, I didn't even know that was a thing. There was a pitch count. I had no idea. So I go in there. I'm like, all right, fucking 3 up, 3 down. The first one, just fucking missed them all.
Yeah, but dude, the second one,
I foul tipped 2 out of 9. I got 9 pitches. I foul tipped 2 heaters, 92 miles an hour.
There you go.
I was also told by the baseball pro guys who were doing it with me, lower level guys, super nice. They were like, oh, it's actually 4 miles an hour faster inside. So now I tell everybody I tipped 96.
There
What's
you
up?
go. There you go.
What's up?
But dude, it was super fucking fun. Yeah. But he did some kind of like slide step to like throw one quick.
Messed his timing up.
People are like, oh, did he only throw heaters? I'm like, no, he threw like he threw one whip, like went up and then down and all fucking around, but.
See, Vex, I was completely ignorant. I thought you were getting 100 pitches.
Dude, I thought it was like 50.
I thought you were going in there. They were going to throw you 100 pitches. And I was ignorant too.
They're like, you get 3 at bats. I'm like, I haven't swung a bat in 30 years, guys. You're giving me 3 tries? Like, come on. But I'm fucking proud that I foul tip too, because if you watched the first video when I went to the batting cage the first day to chirp Sal, my swing was the first time I swung a bat since I was 10 years old. It was so fucking embarrassingly bad. And I'm not saying it was good after those 10 days, but watching the videos go, dude, I was going to the cage. Like that was my workout. I was going for 2 hours.
Yeah.
Like I was like watching back. Okay. Like how am I doing? Okay. YouTube. What's this guy doing? What do I need to do? You know? And it got better. So it was fun, bro.
On YouTube, how to become Aaron Judge in 10 days.
Nothing. Why isn't there anything on here?
Yeah, right. Come on.
Is that not possible? What the fuck, dude?
It was so much fun to follow along. I was like telling my dad about it. It's like, look at what these guys doing.
I
Like,
wish
this is
I had
crazy.
more time that we could have like made a big deal about the day.
Sure.
But like, I fucking work a lot. So it was like, and my wife's like, you're adding another thing. Now are you trying to be a baseball player? And I'm like, no. She's like pregnant. I fucking got 5 gyms. I got online businesses. And she's like, what are you fucking doing? I'm like, I don't know. Midlife crisis. Baseball.
Yeah. This dude's going to bed in full on baseball uniform, sleeping with his bat and everything. I'm like, this guy's serious about this. It was so cool to see like the development of his swing. Like he took it to heart because he wanted. He like
it did get a little better.
He's a competitor. 100% it did.
Yeah,
like so, like it like. I think the story that comes out of that is like anything that you put your mind to, you can get better at.
Oh yeah.
So it was cool to see like the battle between hockey and baseball.
Yeah.
It was fun.
I
Well,
mean,
and
thank God Vex married Kylie, by the way. On that note, because like, any other
Shit
woman
that
not be
woman
chill
puts
about
up
it.
with,
100%. Yeah.
Bro, every time I answer the phone, she's like, is this going to be a coaching voice call? I'm like, yeah. She's like, I got to go to the next room. So I'm like, what's up? What are we doing?
You're like, no, it's not a coaching call, honey. It's just a quick social call, 5 minutes.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Well, and it all of that goes back into what we talked about earlier, into the preparation. You knew you could step into the cage that day against the pitcher, and it's like, you know what? It might not be pretty, but I've put the work in the last week and a half. Like, it's not going to be super ugly.
And everybody's like, are you scared? And I was like, scared? Why would I be scared? The amount of people that were like, are you scared? And I was like, scared? No, I'm not scared.
Yeah.
Like, he's a pro baseball player. I hope he doesn't fucking hit me. I mean, I guess he could. I don't know.
We got bigger problems if that's the case.
Yeah, like,
We tried to tell him to buzz one up and in. But
Yeah,
like
that probably was scary.
that would have
That would have been some wet drawers after that, for sure.
Those white pants have a pinstripe down the back.
I literally had Warts. I had Warts pitched to me like 4 or 5 years ago, and Warts is not a pitcher for those of you that don't know. And I'm pretty sure I dribbled down my leg.
Yeah, well,
I'm like, it was horrifying.
That would scare me. It was
Yeah.
like Jacob Turner was like, I can throw you a couple. Like, I don't want to hurt myself. I can probably throw it like 80. And I'm like, when was the last time you pitched? And he was like, whatever. I think we retired the same year. So maybe like 6 or 8 years ago. And I was like, well, I don't know if I trust you. So he's like, yeah, we'll have the pro guy do it, you know? Because like if I try to play hockey right now, I don't play hockey at all. So I'm like, no, I'm not going to be fucking good. You know what I mean? Like I don't even skate anymore.
Yeah.
But yeah, dude, it was so, but I didn't know this. I was just fucking around and I was like trying to look at the catcher and see what signs he was showing. Hey, I don't even know what the signs mean.
That's
and
how you get
all
drilled.
the guys were like, don't you do that. Don't you do that.
Yeah.
And he was like, what did he do? And I was like, boys, I don't fucking know. I don't even know what the fucking signs are. Like I know one is a fastball and that's it.
Hey, there you
that's
go.
It. So yeah.
That's how you get hit with a pitch.
Yeah,
that's how you
That's
get
like an
buzzed.
unwritten rule.
Yeah.
Like it's,
I would have guessed it was just fastballs too, honestly.
Dude,
Like,
I
I know there's
the
other
guy,
pitches, but I'm like,
I mean, the guy, he had a, like, for anybody out there, like, he had a cutter, which, like, is a fastball that, like, cuts, like, into you. Like, he threw him that. He threw him a curveball. Like, he threw him his whole arsenal.
Yeah.
And I tipped too. What's up?
yeah,
There you go.
I wouldn't.
And everybody's like,
I
that
would've
doesn't
tipped
count.
any.
I'm like, but I tipped it. I mean, come on, give me something. Give me something. And one of them I got fucking good wood on. Like it went straight up. It wasn't like fucking back. You
Yeah.
know?
I think it was the bat that you were using.
Yeah, he let me use his bat. His
That
gloves.
Rawlings Classic
He gave me like
there.
the elbow pad. I totally forgot to put it on. I was like, yeah dude.
You should have taken Matt's chain. That would have imbued you with some
Definitely
powers.
would have fucking hit that. Damn it. Should have worn his earrings. Should have taken his whole fucking life, bro.
I am Big City.
Dude, your bat was sick though.
Yeah,
The bat was really fucking
Yeah.
cool, dude. Like,
Was it Rawlings or Marucci?
No, it was an old hickory one.
Oh.
It was a custom paint one that they did for like a home run derby that I did for the alumni association.
it was way cooler than my DoorDash bat. Let me tell you that. Way cooler than my DoorDash bat.
I can only imagine what that DoorDash driver was thinking. It's
Yeah,
like,
11:30 I ordered it.
11:30.
Yeah.
Like,
Like
what
as
am I
soon as
doing
Sal
here?
like really started going in on me, he sent one text or one DM to me where he was like, "You're a fucking idiot," and I was like, I'm buying a baseball bat.
It's on, man. I didn't know he was going that hard at you. Holy shit.
Go. Yeah. I'm like, let's go. Bat now.
That's crazy.
And like the cool thing with like Sal showed up like at the kid, like it, like we had, like it was a cool little like environment to like.
Yeah.
I mean, everybody was like rooting him on. Like it was a fun environment.
No, that's awesome.
Fun competition for sure.
By the way, the Mexican League is no joke either. I mean, you were down there playing, and I mean, it's like, no joke of a league.
Dude, that guy was a beauty too. I follow him on Instagram. Like I see him win on Instagram. I'm like, fucking right, dude. Let's go.
Yeah, he's like,
he's a cool guy.
That is
that's awesome.
Cool he brought his wife and his kid too. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
That's
I
cool.
was like, I'm sorry, I'm gonna get hit on your dad. What's up? His wife's probably like, you're a fucking idiot. Dude. You're not even wearing that uniform correctly.
Who's this scumbag trying to hit off you, honey? What the hell?
Exactly.
Oh my gosh. You know, it's funny. We had the conversation too, because we talk about, we'll have the conversation like who are the best athletes of any sports all the time with guys we hang out with the men's workout guys, all that stuff.
Everybody does.
Everybody does.
Right. So fun.
The conversation though is, Wirtz and I had this conversation too. It's so nuanced and impossible to compare sometimes as well. The real lesson, like we talked about, that comes out of it is play multiple sports because you get the different skill acquisitions from each sport as well. Because again, try to compare like a shootout to hitting a baseball. That doesn't make any sense at all. I mean, the percentages are somewhat similar in the NHL and the MLB that way.
Well,
I mean, but
it's
like
the closest 1-to-1 between those two sports because it's 1v1. You know, like granted, while you're the only one trying to hit the ball against one pitcher, like you're still hitting it against 8 other defenders on the team. You know, so it is 1v1, but it's not really. You know, there's so much that determines whether you get a hit or you get out.
Well, I think the thing that you got to define your terms when you have those, because we all have different terms.
Yeah,
you know
right,
what I mean?
right.
Like I'm like, I'll fucking bunt one. I will lay a bunt down. Like, let's go.
You were going hard on the bunt. Yeah.
And you know what? The last strike, I was gonna bunt, and I decided late, and I brought my hands apart, and all my buddies are like, I watched your swing. Your hands were apart. And I was like, I was going to fucking bunt. And I didn't know what to do. You know, idiot, you know. Yeah. But like, you got to define your terms because what is an athlete? Or is it which athlete from which sport could be the most successful in all other sports? That's to me, that's not what an athlete means, right? But it's like, that's how most people determine it. Sure. And so I was chirping Sal because I was like, get on hockey skates, bro. I'll dummy you.
Yeah, again, that's the thing. Like, put Sal on hockey skates, you rock his shit.
But that's because it's not fair.
Like,
it's a cheat code.
It's a collision sport. Yeah. Like, baseball's nothing of the sort.
Ice.
You know what I mean?
Outside of going to catcher. Any other sport, but in baseball and every other sport other than swimming, like you're on the ground, but in hockey, you're not.
Right.
So it's not even fair.
Which is why it's so hard to even include hockey in the conversation.
Yeah, you really can't. But like, I'll use that trump card.
Of
course.
100%. Like,
of course.
Yeah, I walk like, I mean, my wife, like she trains like professional athletes for 26 years now. Like she worked for the Rams, she worked for the Blues, like worked for the Cardinals. That's how I met her. And like, I walked out of that ice rink and I was like, I have like, obviously like I had mad respect for like hockey players before then, but like seeing it up close and personal and like it's different. I walked out. I was like watching the pro guys. I was like, like to be able to jump around and skate backwards at a high level of speed and like shoot while it's a different sport. Like like in my baseball, like people like if they hear me say this, like I may go down on their list a little bit, but like I look at all like I have mad respect for football player. Like I can look at all the different sports and just have mad respect for what every athlete is capable of doing in their sport.
Right.
100%.
Because they're at the highest level of something that I can't do.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
And it's
at
like
all.
Yeah, right. It's like you might be able to throw a football pretty good, you know, when you're just throwing it around, but you can't throw it 65 yards down the field like Mahomes.
Dude, Put a 6'9", 300-pound guy that can run a 4.40 coming off the end after you wanting to kill you. Like put him in that situation. Like you're gonna fall to the ground and be like, hey, I'm on the ground. Like don't touch me. Like
I'm good. You got me.
You're not like it's just
no thank you.
It's different. Like every sport is different. Like in like. Yeah, hitting a baseball is hard. Skating on ice and doing what the hockey players like. It's all like internet. It's all hard.
Yeah.
That's like watching the video that when Kyron Williams they were doing like the chase drill. Your athletes against him. Yeah. That would be like taking that video and being like, oh, off of this video alone, football players are the best athletes. Because he was dusting hockey players.
And that guy who he beat in that drill just signed in the NHL.
Oh, that's sick.
Yeah, which is pretty cool.
That is cool.
But he was getting murdered by Kyron.
But again,
Kyron like
does
a child chasing an adult.
Kyron does that with the 6'9", 300 guys chasing him.
Yeah.
In the
Right.
NFL, he cuts like that. In the NFL, like that. So
Right.
again, it's that skill acquisition in that sport. You know what I mean? And again, like it kind of ruins the argument of fun of the argument. If you,
But
take,
if we were
you
going to
know,
go as
obviously.
like just best athlete from like an athletic standpoint, which I would say is like speed, power, spatial awareness, you know, mobility, like just all these different
Endurance,
things.
sure, yeah.
Like running back, cornerback, gotta be up there.
It's probably cornerback. If we're being really honest.
maybe like
yeah.
whatever position Allen Iverson was, if they all play like him, you know, I don't know.
Yeah.
Like he's fucking, you know, it's shifty
Sure.
and all that type of stuff. So
Anticipation's a big one too
yeah,
for
you know,
athletes,
like
you know?
Yeah.
probably those guys are up there because I mean the things Kyron can do. And Tony Adams was a safety with the Jets the last few years. Worked with him, you know, one full summer. Just the natural raw athleticism those guys have. It just like it embarrasses.
Yeah, it's insane. You know, the first few times that I was hitting with you and whatnot, like I was telling him, it's like, dude, seeing this up close, like seeing a legitimate big leaguer hitting up close, not you know, you're at the stadium early for BP. It's like being right there, excuse me. The sound, the look, the everything about it's like, holy shit.
different.
Like we thought we had some good high school players over here. Like it's mind blowing. Like you just said, it's crazy.
That's again that same conversation. You and I had that conversation the first time we saw you train, Vex. The actual intention of the way you train and the power, that's what we picked up on there too.
Yeah.
Because then I would compare that to all the guys like, oh, I played ACHA college hockey, you know what I mean? Like compare it to those guys, and it's just different. You know? And obviously, like no matter what people say, obviously you can bring in the genetic component of, you know, somebody's speed. Like somebody has a 4.3 speed. Obviously they worked really hard, but also they have the genetic component there too.
Yeah.
But again, there is an intentional aspect to the way you two have put work into your craft too.
Mhm.
And it compared to a high school athlete, compared to somebody that just played a little bit of college at a lower level, whatnot, which again, great all day long. Wirtz and I both did that, but there is a difference to that level of things, which is really cool to watch.
It
which
is.
is why
It
working
is.
with athletes and being around athletes is a blast too.
Yeah.
You know,
It's super
So-
fascinating. Yeah. You know, and while it was part of a overall kind of funny scenario, but those 10 days that you were training baseball, I think there's actually a larger lesson in that. And it's finding something that still scratches that itch
Yeah.
after you're done playing.
Yeah. For sure.
For us, we have found that in golf.
Right.
You know?
I was just going to say, you guys talk about that all the time about
Yeah.
like, you know, starting to play golf and how that challenges.
Right.
Like, yeah. 100%.
Because it's so frustrating because it's like, you know, we weren't bad players at our sports, but it's like, this ball's just sitting on the ground. Like, why can I not hit it straight? You know? And so like you want to go to
Just go to your home.
Yeah, literally.
It's good for your home.
Yeah,
go
right.
350 yards straight. That's it. Every time.
Sitting
Yeah.
there talking to it, it's like, just go that way, you
Yeah.
know? And it's like, it makes you want to go to the range every day. It
Yeah.
makes you want to go out on the course every day.
Dude, I would have
you
been
know?
at the batting cage every single day for 5 hours if I didn't have a child.
Yeah,
and a
right.
wife. Honestly, like I was having so much fun getting better at something
Yeah.
that was new.
Because in that frustration, it's like, man, it feels so good to be
Oh, you
getting
hit,
better
you
at
hit
something.
one and you don't feel it, and you're like, oh,
Yeah.
that's what it's supposed to.
100%.
Okay,
You're sitting there
okay.
like, did I play the wrong sport?
Yeah.
You know? Yeah. No, it's a good feeling when you find that thing to continue to work that side of, you know, we all grew up as athletes. Like we like to compete, we like to
Yeah.
train, we like to
Yeah.
get better.
Yeah.
When you don't have that, you can get lost.
Right.
You know,
Oh,
and
yeah, dude.
we talked about that with you in your episode, Matt. I'm sure we talked about it with you as well, Jeff, where a lot of guys that had long, successful playing careers at the highest level afterwards, they got nothing, or they feel like they got nothing.
Yeah.
And it's like, maybe it's business, you know, maybe you need to find an entrepreneurship journey. You know, maybe it's being a great dad, a great husband. Maybe it's finding another sport, whether it's golf, casually or whatever, but you have to find something else that continues to progress that side of you, you know, and you hear a lot of sad stories about athletes afterwards too, you know.
100%.
And,
Yeah, dude, 100%.
yeah,
And
the-
part of that too is it becomes your whole identity.
yeah, right,
And
right.
too many players, and I'm sure, I know for sure, when I was younger, I fell victim to it. Like you don't play well, and you like feel like your life's that's your whole life. So it's
Yeah.
like, I didn't play well. Well, my life outside the game sucked because I didn't play well.
Right.
It's like what? So stupid. Be grateful I got to play today.
Mm-hmm.
You know, leave it at the rink. Other
Right.
than if you have to go home and do some type of work on yourself or your game.
Sure.
But that's like, and then you're not in the game.
Yeah.
You know, and I think the best pros are also able to do that.
Absolutely.
You know, they're able to separate that. And, you know, there were times in my career for sure where I wasn't able to. That hurts you.
Sure.
Yeah, that's a great point. I think for me, it was you know, probably year 3 or year 4 where I really like had to get good at, you know, as soon as I left the clubhouse, walked out of the clubhouse doors, it was like I left baseball at the field. And like that was a big thing to like learn, like to go back on that initial like first question. That would be something that I would, you know, like to go back and change, like learn that mentality earlier on in my career of like being able to like, yes, like I am a baseball player, but that's not who I am completely. Like I'm more to that. I'm more of a man than just Matt Adams, the baseball.
Right.
So like be able to like look back, be grateful for like what I got to accomplish that night, like win, lose, fail, like did good, like whatever, and like shower, change, leave the clubhouse and leave that at the field. And then have my life outside of the stadium as well. I think that's a big, it is tough. It is tough.
It is tough.
Especially when you're on the failing side of that.
Yeah.
You know, you had a bad night at the plate. You had a bad night on the ice. Like to leave that there, to not sulk in that, to not keep yourself up at night. You know, we're experiencing that on the business side with things, you know, and it's just like, why is this not working?
The worst.
Why is it not working? You know, but and there are situations obviously where like you do have to bring it with you to a certain point, you know, and like you got to figure out the problems, you got to figure out a different way to solve that or whatever. But to leave it there, man, it's hard, and especially at the levels that you guys were at as well.
You're
so
getting
even
paid
different.
to do it.
Yeah, right.
You were it a little bit.
You don't, like, it's hard. How do you not?
Yeah.
Like,
Sure.
Well, if I don't perform like another few more games, I might get traded.
Yeah.
Or cut or,
Right.
Or cut, like,
whatever.
Right.
We were in the playoffs in 2014, like NLCS against the Giants. Game 4, game 5, like bottom of the 8th, I made a throw, like I made an error that like gave them the lead, and they ended up going on to win that game.
Mm-hmm.
And I did not sleep.
Yeah.
I was probably the last one. Like the bus left, I was still in the clubhouse. I wore that on my chest the rest of the night. Even the next day, I did not sleep, but I knew that like we had game 6, like we had a chance to like even the series.
Yeah.
And that's whenever I ended up hitting the home run off Madison Bumgarner to tie the game in that game. So like that's a great like thing. Like I had one of the worst errors in my career, professional, youth, whatever, the night before, but I was able to kind of use that as fuel.
Yeah.
To carry that with me the next day to be like, okay, like I'm going to show them that like I was able to like come back from that.
Yeah. You know, that's something when I was still coaching my young guys, that's something I would tell them all the time. It's like baseball will give you your opportunities. It will give you your opportunities. You might have failed today. You might have walked 4 guys on the mound. You might have struck out 4 times at the plate. It doesn't matter. Tomorrow, it will give you your opportunities. Even if you're not in the starting lineup, it doesn't matter. You will get your opportunities, you know, and to try and help kids see that is very hard because kids are emotional, you know, and that goes back to the youth sports, you know, they're very emotional. Some of that comes from the parents, some of that comes from them. It's just the situation that they're in. But to try and conceptualize that to a kid, it's very difficult. And even a big leaguer, you know, it's hard to do that too. Right. But if you can really understand, it's like, I will get another opportunity. You know, what I have to do is make sure I am as prepared as I possibly can be for when that time comes.
Right. And that's baseball, that's hockey, that's football, that's life, that's business. Like if you are not prepared and not ready for that next opportunity, it's going to it's not going to wait on you.
Yeah.
You are going to be left by the wayside. Like, so the biggest thing is, that's a great point. It's just making sure you learn from it, be prepared and be ready, like want that next opportunity.
Yeah. Right. Yeah.
A question for you, Matt, off that. So I've told Wirtz this before. One of my favorite things about hockey was the fact that I can make a bad pass. 7 seconds later, I can make up for that mistake if I take the puck back. For example, baseball, you have a bad at-bat. You have a bad error, game 5 in this scenario. And then you have to think about that a lot more in baseball. To me, like that's very confusing because I'm like, I played lacrosse, hockey, freaking played a little bit of ultimate frisbee too, but that's not the point. All fast-paced sports. So mistakes you're able to make up for it very quickly. What did that, so you're talking about not sleeping that night. What settled you for game 6? Were you able to make that big play? What do you think it was that settled you?
I think to like your point, where to like understanding that like I wanted to be as prepared as I could be for my next opportunity. Like knowing, yes, I messed up, cost the team, the loss basically. But I knew that one, like, yeah, I may not have slept because I thought about that, but like I feel like in baseball, because we're playing 162 games, like if you cannot learn to like flush your bad shit and like be ready for that next, the very next pitch, whether it's on offense or on defense, like I had way more bad at bats than I did good at bats in my career.
Sure.
That if I would have carried my bad at bats into the field, I would not have been a good defender. And then I'm letting the team down on both ends of the game. So I think for me it was like really, I think the reason why I didn't sleep that night was I watched the video over and over and again, and I analyzed, why did I make that error? Why was I not like, and the big thing was my feet weren't underneath me. I was off balance and the throw got away from me. Like really coming to terms that like, was I prepared for the ball? Yes. Did I know what I was doing with that baseball once I got the ball hit to me? Yes. Did I make the right play? Yes. I just made a bad throw, cost him a run. So like, kind of like to answer, it's a long-winded answer, but like I was able to like kind of flush that and know that like the next day I'm going to have multiple opportunities to help the team win. I just got to be ready to do that.
Awesome. That's awesome stuff.
Yeah.
So on to the last topic now. Both of you two are huge St. Louis guys. I think anybody who either knows you or follows you in any sort of way on social media sees how much you guys invest in the city. So for each of you, Matt, obviously with you with the Cardinals stuff, with any type of events you're doing with fans, all that stuff, investing back in there. Jeff, your gyms, making hockey athletes better here in St. Louis. What is, and again, obviously you don't have to give literal exact details here, but what does that future in St. Louis look like? Are you guys planning to just invest in this for 15, 20 plus more years? What does that look like future wise? Like what is the actual end goal? Or maybe there's not an end goal and it's just journey. What does that look like for you guys?
I think my end goal is I want to be able to put the Cardinals jersey back on and be able to coach and give back to the organization that kind of gave me an opportunity to live out my childhood dream. And this is a way for me to do it. I'm getting chills right now thinking about it because I know that one day I am gonna do that. And my end goal is I believe that I would be a good leader and I would be a great manager. But the big word that I use is I want to impact. I want to impact people. I want to impact the organization. And by me doing it this year, this way to get started back in the Cardinals organization, being involved with the Cardinals alumni group, making appearances, interacting with fans, doing the local media stuff that I'm doing, talking about the current state of the Cardinals, how they've, kind of jumped forward and got the fans interested in Cardinals baseball again. Cause it's such a city that like when their teams are good, the whole city thrives.
Yeah.
So being able to talk about that, give back to the community, like that's my end goal. Like whether I'm living in St. Louis or, my wife and I pick up in Nashville or go back home to Chicago where she's from. They say once a Cardinal, always a Cardinal. Like I always want to be involved in some sort of capacity with the Cardinals organization, being able to help out the game of baseball.
Love that.
Are we going to see you leading the tarps off section anytime soon?
That was good.
There may be an opportunity to do the Anheuser-Busch toast, like Ozzy did and then Allerboski did last night. Whether my shirt comes off or not, that's we're gonna make a game time decision on that.
Yeah,
that's a key piece of that.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. It's got to be in there.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
For me, it's, my goal, I started coming back and helping kids. I left home at 15 and a half, my sophomore year of high school. And it's because I felt like I pretty much had to. Like now kids don't have to leave St. Louis. We have everything for hockey development here. But when I was playing, we didn't. And I literally had to leave because what every agent, scout, older team was telling me. And so I knew right away when I started coming back after that year and helping out the kids below me, okay, I never want any kid that's that young to have to. They want to leave, that's different. I don't want them to have to leave. And I was like, my goal was always, whenever I'm done with hockey, I want to put a gym in every rink in St. Louis, get young kids training the right way, athleticism over everything else, not trying to make little NHL players. It's not a thing. and you know, just partner with organizations to get quality, cheap workouts in season to help everybody. So, you know, my goal is as many gyms and rinks as I can and help as many young players that want to get into this as I can for hockey, but also like getting just kids excited about exercising.
Yeah, sure.
Because like, you know, I'm 40 now. So 25 years ago when I started thinking, oh, this would be cool to do here, since I had to leave and we don't have it, like there was no like cell phones like they are now. There's no tablets. These kids were just video gaming every day like they are now. Kids still played outside and now they don't. So I think it's even more important now to have like other ways to get these kids like interested in exercising and things like that. And the way that I always try and work with kids, like, always has to be fun.
Yeah.
If it's not fun, they're not going to want to come back to the gym, especially when we're training them at the younger ages. So, you know, I want to really continue to help St. Louis hockey as much as I can in that way. And eventually, like, we'll run camps and we'll do things, you know, the right way. And my goal is just help as many hockey players.
Yeah. No, that's awesome from both of you. I mean, you both are killing it in those respective areas. It's very, very cool to watch. And you know, as I said earlier, like, very proud to call both of you friends and close friends at that. You both have been very instrumental to us in your own ways, and we can't thank both of you enough. And keep killing it, boys. Keep killing it. You guys are on good paths, and it's so much fun to watch. It really is. It really, really is.
St. Louis, baby.
Yeah, we're honored. Seriously, boys.
Yeah.
Like, this is awesome. And again, like, you guys are freaking crushing it. We need that in St. Louis more and more and more. So we're trying to join you boys in that.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right. All right. Guys, that is episode 200. We promised something great. We promised something big, something we've never done before. I think we did a pretty damn good job of that, huh? And again, thank you, both of you. And guys, as always, please share the show for us. It helps us grow. It's free. It's easy. And we will see you next week.
Let's freaking go.
Thanks for having me, boys.